Wednesday night at the ballpark, the middle game of 3 as the Sox and Royals tangle after a 4-2 Kansas City win last night, and it is Authentic Fan Night. We will be showing some of your posts and meeting our Authentic Fan for this evening coming up later. White Sox baseball is here for you, and so are we. Jason Benetti, Steve Stone along with you. Nicky Delmonico has had an injury-torn season. However, since coming off the DL and very recently, the extra base hits are starting to pour in.
Nice to see him back healthy and swinging the bat the way he can, because before he went down, he was swinging it very well. But unfortunately, a broken hand, and now he's got to get his rhythm back again. The last 3 starts, a couple of home runs, a couple of triples with 3 driven in. Things going very well. He's getting an opportunity tonight against a struggling right-hander in Jacob Junis. So hopefully Nicky will have once again a big night, and if he does, the Sox are going to score because he gives them what they need, which is a left-handed run producer.
The guy who Junis is facing is Dylan Covey, who made his debut in 2018 against the Royals.
Dylan Covey's been in and out. Jacob Junis has really struggled the second part of this year, so it's a battle of right-handers with ERAs up over 5. As you can see, the last 10 starts, Junis has really struggled. That ERA of 6.67 since the All-Star break. Dylan Covey has thrown it, well, in and out. He's been good. He hasn't been good. It really depends on that sinker. If the sinker has been good and he's throwing ground balls, then he's going to do well. If the sinker is not good, you'll know early, and then he's going to struggle.
It was all homers last night. 6 runs, all provided on the long ball as the Sox and Royals get together once again. Chuck Garfien will join us in a little while, and so will Jose Abreu, who picked up double number 30 last night. Can he lead the Sox to victory? We will find out.
White Sox baseball on NBC Sports Chicago is brought to you in part by Toyota. Tested, trusted, Toyota. Toyota, let's go places. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois, through it all. By Lexus, who encourages you to experience amazing. And by Miller Lite, the original light beer. Miller Lite, hold true.
Deadheads are here tonight, and it is Grateful Dead night at the ballpark as the Sox and Royals, with blue sky overhead and smiling down on us, tangle for game number 2 of 3. The Royals are 4 games back of the Sox for 4th place in the American League Central. And here is the starting lineup for Ned Yost, and it's brought to you by the Webb Auto Group. Whit Merrifield at the top in a new position, then Gordon and Perez, Duda, Herrera, and Phillips in the middle. O'Hearn, whose only hit in the majors is that home run yesterday, Escobar and Mondesi.
Defensive setup for our Sox, presented by UI Health. This Ricky Renteria is going to put him out there tonight with Nicky Delmonico in left, Leary Garcia in center, Abisail Garcia in right. Then it's Yolmer, Tim, Yohan, and Jose in the infield, with Kevin Smith getting the nod behind the plate. And our Lexus Experience amazing starting pitcher is Dylan Covey. Covey on for his 14th start. He's 4-6 as the ERA, touch under 5.5. Umpires for the game tonight: Will Little has a plate, Ben May at first, Lance Barksdale's at second, and Ted Barrett is at third, and he's the crew chief. So we're ready to play baseball on a gorgeous night, and I'm ready to turn over to my loquacious play-by-play partner, Jason Benetti.
Thank you, Steve. That's the nicest thing you said to me all moment.
There you go.
Dylan Covey coming off a start in Anaheim when he went 4 2/3, 9 hits, 6 earned runs. That's after the Jewel in Seattle earlier on the road trip. And ball 1 to Whit Merrifield, as we are a little bit early tonight. 7:09 first pitch, 80 degrees at first pitch time. Wind southwest at 6, so very light this evening as Covey throws a called ball number 2. Whit Merrifield, 31 hits in the month of July. That was top 5 in the American League.
He's just a good, solid player. He hits the ball where it's pitched, doesn't try to do too much with it. He's a very good base stealer and has an excellent baseball acumen. So he understands the game, and tonight he's playing center field, which is something they'd like to see him do. He gives him a lot of versatility as it is, and we'll see where he fits next year in what should be a rebuilding situation for Kansas City.
Left side, Anderson gloves it. Tim's got a shot, and he knocks him down. What a way to start the night.
Just a great play by Tim Anderson. Merrifield can't believe it. He thought that was a base hit all the way. Had no idea the ball was going to beat him to the bag, but it looked like in real time it just barely got him. Tim in the hole. He's really improved the backhand. That's been one of the big factors of his game. He floats it across and gets it there. Yes, just an eyelash ahead of Merrifield, and that was just an outstanding effort to kick it off tonight.
That's a whale of a play for a guy who the last time we saw him, he was being benched for not running out a ball that he hit on the left side of the infield. So Tim got those 3 innings of rest, and he's very fresh tonight.
Well, he made just a sparkling play, and he's really benefited from shoring up the backhand.
That's one of those situations where in a rebuilding season you look and specifically at that backhand side, and Ricky Renteria has talked about it. You can't really truly quantify it, so you can't truly say, well, numerically it had. For our eyes and for the manager's eyes and for the guys in that clubhouse, Tim Anderson is a much improved shortstop.
And I'll tell you also what it does. It takes the pitcher, keeps Dylan Covey out of a stretch situation. He's not having a base stealing threat at first base with nobody out here in the first inning. That is a really big play because now you're in a windup. Now you have 1 out, nobody on. Just a completely different scenario for the starting pitcher. That's a big lift for Dylan Covey.
Against Gordon on 2-2. Now 3 balls, 2 strikes. Alex Gordon yesterday 2 for 4, had a couple of really nice at bats, and he squared a few balls up. pitch. James Shields, who went 7th. In the air, right field. Avi is underneath. Out number 2 as we check in with the former Cooperstown visitor, Chuck Garfien. Welcome back, sir.
Great to be back, Jason. And the key with Dylan Covey when you watch him pitch is that sinker ball. That is his bread and butter. And I spoke with catcher Kevin Smith before the game, and he says that Dylan Covey has the best sinker he has ever caught. He says it's like a wiffle ball with crazy movement. When they're in the bullpen, consistently that is where it is at its best because he's free and easy. When he loses it is when he tries to do too much, throws it too hard, and it flattens out. This is what Smith said before the game. So then I went to Don Cooper and I said, what do you think about Dylan Covey's sinker? And he says it's the best righty sinker that he has coached with the White Sox, even better than John Garland. So high praise from Don Cooper about Covey's sinker, something to watch here tonight.
Yeah, it sure is. That's very high praise from Coop especially, and the catcher's the one that's got to deal with it.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's one of those pitches where the more you relax, the better off the pitch is, and that's counterintuitive to guys who are trying to strain to do a good job.
Center field, Leori Garcia. And a 1-2-3 inning for Dylan Covey because of this one in the 1-2-3. Number 7 does in Merrifield all the way across the diamond. Lineup of Chevy, Sports, Mitsubishis, Genesis, and Hyundais at the best price. Go to webcars.com. Moncada, Sanchez, Abreu, Polka is in against the right-hander. The 2 Garcias, Nicky, who we told you about, Tim with a great play, and Kevin Smith.
Defensive lineup for Kansas City, presented by UI Health. This time Ned Yost is going to put him out there with Gordon, Merrifield, and Phillips left to right. Then it's Herrera, Escobar, Mondesi, and Duda. Salvador Perez behind the plate. And we'll tell you about Jacob Junis in a moment.
Yoan Moncada. Has he done it for the second time? He has! His second leadoff home run against Junis this year. Groundhog Day. 1-zip.
Pretty nice way to start it off. As Yoan Moncada hits his 14th home run, drives in his 44th run. With a first ball, fastball, and gone. A line drive rocket into the bullpen, and it's 1-0 Sox.
He absolutely shocks Junis for the second time this year. It was April 26th. Moncada touched him up for a leadoff home run. First pitch tonight as that missile goes foul, 0-2.
Well, if Junis is going to get it done, he's going to get it done because of his slider. That's how he gets the overwhelming majority of his strikeouts. That is his favorite pitch, and it's not sliding very well the second part of this year.
That was grooved down the line. Fair ball into the corner. Sanchez with a double.
So back-to-back rockets to start off this ball game, and Junis, who has really struggled the last 10 starts, is struggling here once again tonight.
Jacob Junis, who's from about 2.5 hours west of here in Rock Falls, has a pretty good cheering section that we heard pregame when his name was announced, but it has not gone as planned for Junis so far. Abreu takes a strike, and with Moncada's home run, another generous donation from the Alex Nelias family in loving memory of Ursula. That's home run number 26 Junis has allowed this year, tied for the most in baseball. Right hand side, Mondesi for out number 1.
Our Ford home run replay, we'll take a look at the first pitch, and gone. It's a fastball, it's thigh high, it's middle in, and it's a line drive rocket into the bullpen. So an ominous way to start this for Junis, but second part of this year, he's seen a whole lot of these.
One on, one out, Daniel Palka, who pinch hit last night and walked in place of Davidson late in the game. Ground ball to first. That is a fair ball. And Sanchez on his way to third with 2 down.
Biggest problem this year for Junis is that opponents are hitting .348 against his fastball. That's second worst among all starting pitchers in the major leagues. League average is .262. So when you get up to .348 against fastballs, you get the feeling that they either know what's coming, which they don't, you're making bad pitches, which you are, and you got to try to get some movement from somewhere. And with a good slider, he's got to try to do something artificially in his hand to get that fastball to move. There's no reason the league should be hitting close to .350 against the fastball of a major league pitcher.
And you know, the hardest hit baseballs sometimes are those fastballs that leak out over the plate that you don't want there. There's a good breaking ball for a strike to Avi with Sanchez at third, 2 down in the first. Jacob Junis, who wanted to be a major league shortstop, converted to pitching. And there's the slider to get a swinging strike, 0-2.
Yeah, that slider is definitely major league quality. I mean, it's a good one.
He's really a 2-pitch pitcher. He throws the changeup about 6% of the time. The curveball not much at all. Oh, and 2. There's another slider. 3 straight for Avi for strike 3. But on pitch number 1, the Sox take lead number 1. Yoan Moncada, before everyone was seated, got them all standing. 1-2.
As you enjoy a Miller Lite, look forward to the whole true moment later in tonight's game.
And we'd like to welcome all our viewers watching on Butler Bremer Communications in lovely Plainfield, Iowa.
Is that Dick Bremer?
It is. And Rhett Butler. They've combined.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
That's quite a twosome.
You wouldn't imagine that they'd go into business together.
No, but you never really know. Yeah, business makes strange bedfellows, as they say.
Especially when one's fictional and one's real.
There you go.
Always nice to see the crossover there. There's a check swing foul from the massive left-hander Lucas Duda. Former 7th round pick of the Mets back in 2007.
If Dylan can throw that good sinker away, Duda's going to ground to the right side because he tries to pull just about everything away.
That was down, a ball and 2 strikes on Duda.
The sinker we saw early in the season from Dylan Covey when he came back from the minor leagues was just outstanding, and he was throwing it anywhere from 93 to 95 miles an hour. It's rare that a sinker can look that good and be that hard, but Dylan's is.
Usually when you have a sinker that works that much and is that fast, you end up with a guy in the back of the bullpen. At least in recent memory, guys like Blake Trinan and Zach Britton.
I was going to say, that's Zach Britton, only
Yeah.
he throws it maybe 3-4 miles an hour even harder than that. But then again, he had some arm difficulties because nobody throws a 98-mile-an-hour sinker.
Just missed the plate, 3-2.
And the one thing that Dylan is going to find out tonight is that Will Little is not giving him the low strike. So you look at some of the numbers against his pitching and you realize that the slider is giving him some problems.
That ball stayed up. Duda lines it to left, and Delmonico's there for out number 1. So 4 outs for Covey in a row. 3 have gone to the outfield.
That sinker's going to get better as he moves along, and sinker ballers, that will happen. You'll give up line drives early. That's what Duda did. He took that ball away because it was a little below waist high, and he hit a line drive. Later in the performance, as the adrenaline wears off and he gets a little weaker, that ball is going to sink, and that's going to be a ground ball to the right side instead of a line drive.
I like that you called it a performance. Pitching is sort of orchestral in nature.
It very much is a performance because you got to think your way through. You have to adjust while you're doing it, and you never really know what the stuff is going to be coming out of that bullpen. You might have great stuff down there and take nothing to the mound. Conversely, you might have horrible stuff in the bullpen and come out throwing absolute rockets. No way to tell. But the hitters will let you know.
Very quickly, they'll let you know. Ball and a strike on Herrera, who's been a Swiss Army knife defensively for Kansas City since coming over from Cincinnati. He's played every outfield position. He's played third base and he's played second base.
He's just learning how to play third, and he's going to realize the ball gets down to you very quickly and comes with a whole lot of spin.
Well, there was that ball at third last night, the one that eventually was the one that evicted Tim Anderson from the game, that he kind of collapsed on, made the catch, but it wasn't clear at first whether or not he had.
No, normally he's going to catch that ball with an open glove. He caught it with the glove down, which added to the deception.
On the ground, Abreu cleans it up, and 5 in a row for Dylan Covey. Your 2018 Chicago White Sox are presented by Guaranteed Rate, your home team throughout the season and the official mortgage provider of the Chicago White Sox. Get started today at rate.com.
What a lot of young pitchers have to do, as you take a look at some of the shirts that commemorate.
I know what that guy did, by the way. That guy just threw something in his friend's beer.
You think so?
I do.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
No, they would never do that, would they?
Unacceptable, really. Party foul, as they say. Because you wouldn't. If something hadn't happened, that guy's not going to reach into his beer and waste very good beer throwing it at his friend. Flicking the beer.
Ooh.
I've seen that before at games.
Yeah, beer flicking.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the new rage.
The Deadheads visiting the ballpark tonight, being Grateful Dead night. It's a little bit up. No, it's strike 3. Phillips didn't like it. It was a slightly delayed call, and Covey will take it. 6 up, 6 down. Yoan Moncada with a home run, and the Sox have a 1-0 lead. Second inning. Garcia, Delmonico, Anderson coming up against Jacob Junis, who throws strike number 1.
That was one of the few straight changes we'll see Junis throw, but he's got to mix in something else, and so he's trying that.
A little slower than his typical changeup. His average is 85 this year. That one was 82. And you'll see the slider down in that range, 81 to 83.
Slider's pretty good. He threw that one right in under the hands of Liuri and threw it by him.
Backed up 1-2. Grounded foul, still a ball and 2 strikes, and we mentioned what Junis will throw in passing. Slider more than anything. The 4-seamer and the sinker combined to make 52% fastball, and that curveball not very much. The changeup less as well. James Fegan from The Athletic wrote a story today about White Sox post non-waiver deadline trades, and Leury Garcia's name came up as a player to be named later in the Alex Rios deal back in August of 2013. And what a season Garcia's having, really turning up the offense in recent weeks since he's come back from injury. Frank Thomas has changed a little bit.
Liuri's been a very good player.
Yeah.
I mean, he's hit from both sides of the plate and has good speed.
Escobar, we're out number 1.
It's White Sox Authentic Fan Night here on NBC Sports Chicago. Share your photos with us all game long using the hashtag #AuthenticFan, and it may be shown later in our broadcast.
Saw one tweet with the hashtag #AuthenticFan that said Moncada leadoff home run. So nice prognostication by that fan, because it happened.
It did.
One down for Nicky Delmonico, who's back in the starting lineup. Nicky facing the right-hander Junis, and Delmonico has been an extra base hit machine his last couple of starts, beginning with that getaway day home run in Anaheim on Thursday.
And a couple of triples to go with it. You don't see many of those, especially from the bigger guys.
I bet Truth Serum, if you really made Nicky tell the truth on that second triple that night, maybe there was a little piece of him that was saying, play it cleanly off the wall so I don't have to go run to third again. But he is he's a competitor.
You can run out of gas pretty quickly with a couple of those. Well, that one misses away.
That's why you won't sanction the triples derby, because of fatigue issues.
That's it. That to me is the whole ball game.
That day, though, with the second triple, when Nicky saw it clanged off the wall as it did, you could see him turn it on at second base, and he gave it absolutely everything.
That one was off of Salvi Perez, and that's happened a few times already early in this series. Talked about Salvi being one of the bigger catchers around, and consequently there's a lot more area to foul the ball off of. And he seems to get hit quite a bit.
Coming off the bicep last night, that was no fun.
No, that probably felt real bad.
Dollar Dog Night.
You can eat more dogs if you don't eat the buns.
Looked like the kid from Big Daddy. You ever see that movie?
No.
Adam Sandler?
I did not. Was it a classic?
It was.
Did it win an Oscar?
Did not. Adam Sandler is still shut out in that category, I think. With Delmonico up. There is a called strike 3. Just clipped the zone. So Nicky will leave. Two down.
That's called a backdoor slider. Right-hander throwing a slider to a lefty, usually want to throw it under his hands, but sometimes you try to nip off the outside corner, and Junis was able to do just that.
It's a pretty filthy pitch. Nicky may have disagreed.
Well, look, the left-hand hitter is going to give up on that because he sees it. It is outside. You just have to hope it doesn't snap over the corner, and that one did.
But here's Tim Anderson, who last we saw him was defensively making a great play there. Herrera turns it out into a base runner. That was Escobar's ball, and he had him.
One of the things you have to realize is where are your defenders? And Herrera hasn't played much third base, so he's well off the line. Diving and can't come up with it, and usually when the glove is closed, you're not going to be able to come up with it. But again, he hasn't played a whole lot of third base, and so the technical aspects of it elude him to this point as that one trickles away and it goes as a base hit. And now we're in a situation where you might want to try to run.
Tim's on pace for 32 steals this year. He's got 21 so far. He doesn't take off on the first pitch. Ball 1 to Kevin Smith. Tim runs. Salvi from his knees. Got him. A low line drive throw. And the Royals take out Anderson. To the third we go. Games excluding the Cubs series and get $10 in added value per game to spend throughout the park. Plans start as low as $79. Get your tickets at whitesox.com/all-star plan today. You get to see a game. You get some concession value as well. Go downstairs and grab yourself a soft serve cone before the game like I did today.
It's a nice deal, all things considered.
Oh, yeah. Had myself a waffle cone before the game.
You did?
Oh, yeah.
Did they charge you for it?
I'm a human. I'm a paying customer.
Oh, you are? Okay. Well, I didn't know. I thought, maybe you were using your all-access pass.
Which still doesn't exist. That's downstairs. 3-0 on O'Hearn, who became the third Royal to hit a home run in his first game. Mark Quinn, Clint Hurdle, the last two in the Kansas City era. It's downstairs, ball 4, first base runner for the Royals on a 4-pitch walk. And here is what you'll be seeing on our telecast tonight, other than White Sox baseball. Authentic Fan Night. Share your posts using #AuthenticFan. The White Sox Farm Report. Monthly awards in the minors. Thanks, Jose Quintana. And then around Major League Baseball, the Nationals' run differential has gone up thanks to the Metropolitans. Oh boy, it was a long night.
Ugh, you're
for
not
Mr.
kidding.
Met.
You are not kidding. And they lost again today, but it was much closer.
Is it 12-0?
Oh, 5-3.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
They're getting better.
They were in this one.
That came at the right time for the Nationals too, who were trying to figure out whether they were buying or selling. They kind of sold Brandon Kintzler for reasons other than baseball, it seems, was sent away. Reports of him being a little too interested in journalism.
That can happen.
Yeah. 1-1 for Escobar. O'Hearn at first, Mondesi on deck, and Dylan Covey with his first base runner against. Tie-dye everywhere tonight with Grateful Dead night at the ballpark. It's a nice sock shirt. Got the logo in the middle. Up and in, 2-1 on Escobar, who came in as a defensive replacement last night and nearly hurt himself on the railing over by the Sox dugout as Dylan Covey watches his friends come in.
Kevin Smith going out there to make sure that Dylan keeps his concentration. Like so many young pitchers, when it starts to slip away, he has some problems grabbing it back. But if you have a sinker ball, and he does, and a good one, you're usually one pitch away from a double play. And the fact that Escobar does like to swing at just about everything, he's got 20 walks this year. That's in 356 at-bats. 20 walks. So odds are overwhelming. If it stays in the ballpark, he's going to be swinging.
Going to first, and O'Hearn is back. Escobar has always been more of a defensive player than an offensive player, and he's hit more ground balls even this year than he did last year. So a possibility for a double play with O'Hearn at first and nobody out in the third. Upstairs, 3-1. Only run in this game on the first swing of the game for the Sox. Yoan Moncada with a solo home run against Jacob Junis. Back-to-back walks to the 7 and 8 hitters. Elvis Night, Friday, August 17th, right here at Guaranteed Rate Field. Join us in remembering the king of rock and roll as the Sox take on the Kansas City Royals, 7:10 p.m. Be sure to stay for the post-game fireworks show. Visit whitesox.com to get your tickets today. And now Don Cooper meanders out to the mound to talk to Covey.
Well, despite the fact that Mondesi runs very well, he has grounded into a couple of double plays this year. So Don Cooper has had his say. Wants to get Dylan Covey thinking along the lines of throwing a ground ball. Mondesi is yet to bunt.
He shows it there, and there's some thought because Merrifield is next, then Gordon, especially with Merrifield being so productive. Maybe you put the guys in scoring position for him, although you typically get a bigger inning without the bunt. Typically. And that's an out. The ball hit him when he was out of the batter's box. Mondesi's out.
Well, we'll take another look. No,
it hit him twice.
It hit him, and when he was in the box, so he'll get another shot at it.
I thought the signal was out from the plate umpire. I thought he put one hand in the air and said out. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he had both in the air. Ball and a strike on Mondesi. There's a bunt, foul, and strike two. So here's the bunt. Take a look. Yeah, see? There's a call of out by the plate umpire initially. Will Little said he was out.
He pointed to him and did raise his hand like it was an out, but I think he was saying that it was a strike.
We can't have the same signal for strike and out. Should have different ones. Just hypothetically. Ball and 2 strikes on Mondesi. And he does get the bunt down. Covey thought about it, then throws it low, and Mondesi's safe.
We've seen that a whole lot where pitchers just don't feel their position very well, and Dylan Covey took that throw for granted and threw it in the dirt. This is a very easy throw. Moncada is right there to make the play, threw it into the ground, and Yohan cannot pick it up, and so the bases will be loaded with nobody out. It goes as a sac, E1.
So bases loaded for Whit Merrifield. And there's strike one.
I think Yomer and Jose are coming home if they get a ground ball to them at third or first, and I think they're going the conventional route in the middle because they're back.
Oh, 1 in the dirt. '29-year-old Whit Merrifield up a couple of years ago with Kansas City in 2016, and he's become an everyday player for these Royals, whether it's second base or in center. One ball, one strike. Fouled away, 1 and 2. You mentioned the corner infielders playing in. The middle is back. And Merrifield typically hits the ball on the left side of the infield, although every once and again he'll send a ball the opposite way.
He's only grounded into 6 double plays this year. That's a remarkable total when you consider he's batted 402 times.
Quite often you'll see a player like this who everyone says is a gamer and is great to have on your team because he does so many different things, and the numbers don't necessarily bear it out, so you have this fight between the eyes and the numbers. He's worth nearly 3.5 wins in Fangraphs WAR too, so the numbers like him too.
No, he's just a real solid player in every aspect of the game.
Now 3 balls and 2 strikes. Covey to Merrifield, and the lead very tenuous. That's Alex Gordon, who's next. Three balls, 2 strikes. On the ground, Covey home, gets 1, throw to first, Smith, double play. A 1, a 2, a 3.
That was a nice throw by Dylan Covey. He made sure that Kevin Smith had a chance. And it turns out to be pretty easy. Gets him at first by a good step and a half. And quickly there are 2 outs.
Alex Gordon, the prospective final out of the top of the 3rd. Gordon flied out to right, and Avi Garcia on a full count pitch in the 1st. Two balls, no strikes. Covey started this inning with a 4-pitch walk to O'Hearn. Another walk and an error. And now the double play leading to 2 down. Center field. Garcia on the move, and he won't get there. The Royals take the lead. Alex Gordon with a double.
Fell behind on a couple of sliders and went to Gordon with a fastball, and he drives in his 21st and 22nd run of the year. So the 2 walks do come back to haunt him, along with the 1 throwing error. And there's that fastball down the middle. Gordon, who's swinging it a whole lot better in this series, gets the job done, and the Royals take the lead.
Dylan Covey, you may remember in his first start this year, it was at Kansas City back on April the 29th. A first inning error doomed him eventually, as Moncada gets over on this ground ball from Perez, but the Royals take the lead on the double from Gordon. Will be the Chicago White Sox. Hit your X1 voice remote and get live team stats on your TV. Change the way you experience TV with Xfinity X1. Another glorious day to be a Chicago resident.
This has just been a gorgeous day. We've had just the teeniest bit of rain, and that went away really quickly.
Did it just rain on your head? I didn't experience any rain today.
Well, that's because you were at the park at 8 o'clock this morning.
You drove through rain is what you're telling me?
Had you been a little bit later, you would have seen it. Yeah.
Huh. You
Yeah.
caught a shower?
I did. Not much of one, but a little one.
I feel like it's in the Peanuts comic strip when you're the only one with the cloud over your head.
No, that was this was official. This was an official rain.
Ah.
Yeah.
2 strikes on Smith. 3 hits against Junis so far. And a ground ball to third. Herrera. I was looking at Twitter during the break, and there's evidently a Twitter account called Did Nick Madrigal Strike Out?
And the answer would be no.
Still no. He was 0 for 4 today. His average is at .341, but he still has yet to strike out.
Could be a while.
It seems like it for the Sox first round pick back in June. The hit tool.
He's got some of that.
Yeah.
And the speed too.
Why can't it just be speed? Why does it have to be the speed tool or the hit tool? Can't he just hit?
No.
You got to look hitterish.
Yes. In scouts lingo.
Teach us other scouts words. On a scale of 20 to 80, what's your favorite scout word?
Let's see. I'll think of it. It's coming.
Okay. On the ground, middle infield and through. Moncada thought about going for second base. He decided not to, but in the first inning, he was the one that provided the thunder against Jacob Junis, who he knows very well. This is back on April the 26th. Junis to Moncada. A dart to right field. Stop us if you've seen this somewhere. Into the bullpen it goes. Moncada starts the game with a home run. Tonight, first pitch. More glory. It looks just about the same.
Very similar. Line drive just barely made it over the fence, but both of them did. And you on now 2 for 2.
Now Yolmer watches the throw on Moncada. Ball 1 on Sanchez, who doubled to right in the first.
High ceiling.
High ceiling, I like that one.
High ceiling would be another scout term. That and expenses.
It's true.
There's a high ceiling for my expenses.
One I've heard recently is paperwork. I got to go back to the hotel and do some paperwork.
And some of that too.
Now time for Lowe's whole team together, which Keon, our producer, has been trying to get in for 2 innings now. Stolen base leaders for the Sox. Anderson leading 5 with at least 10. There he goes. Ball is low. Salvi got him again.
Well, Yuan thought that he might have made it. I think he wants the dugout to take another look at it. He believes that he got the hand in before the tag.
The crowd reacted in park as though maybe he's safe. Let's see. This will do it.
Well, looks like he's out to me.
Very close. And it is an out.
That's 2 for 2 for Salvi Perez.
Thought that ball was going to drift too far to the third base side of second. It didn't.
No, he had a good angle from here. You can actually see it moving back toward the second base bag, and it got there just in time.
Left field side. Gordon on the run, and he's not going to get there. It's strike 2. Yolmer Sanchez, who's been alternating between the regular colored specs and those shocking green ones, which others on the team have adopted. Tiago Vieira, among others. 2-2. That's upstairs. A trendsetter. First guy to dump a bucket of Gatorade on himself in celebration. First guy to wear neon green specs. Good slider, and
the ball hit him.
That's going to be a dead ball.
And he's going to be out.
Once they discuss it, that will be the result, you'd imagine. Salvador Perez signaled immediately.
It hits him, and he did not hit the ball.
That is a dead ball after it hits him.
Indeed out.
You lose your opportunity to run to first, and we will run to the fourth.
Yes, we have it of the Demon, who inhabits the White Sox clubhouse on occasion, and a big wrestling star. I mean, big, huge. He's a legend of professional wrestling. And here it is. You can have this.
It says Go Sox on it.
Yes, it does.
Demon's a great guy.
Yes,
Set that up for us in the prize shelf, and you folks at home for playing Sox math. Oh, 1 to Duda is upstairs. 1 ball and 1 strike. Kansas City took the lead in the third on a 2-run double from Alex Gordon, who just played his 1,500th game in Kansas City colors last night. Center field. Garcia drifting. And 1 down. Here's your Sox math question for tonight. Hashtag Sox Math on Twitter. Number of home runs Matt Davidson has this season against the Royals, multiplied by homers the Sox hit last night, plus wins the Sox have against the Royals this year, minus the number of years Cal Eldridge spent with the Sox.
And our defending champ?
Our guy Mike Cannella. Joe Grube nodding. He is our guy. That's been confirmed by the Our Guy department.
Our people will get back to his people.
Oh, yeah.
And officially inform him that he's our guy.
Maybe more lucrative than a Sox math win, being our guy. You get both sometimes, depending on what Joe says. 2-0 on Herrera. Sanchez is around it, and Sanchez has out number 2. Yolmer was in a big old hurry there. to make sure that he got the out. Saturday, August 11th, come celebrate Jim Thome Day when the Sox take on the Cleveland Indians. First 20,000 fans to enter the ballpark get a Jim Thome Hall of Fame bobblehead presented by Wintrust. To get your tickets, visit whitesox.com. Talking to Scott Reifert from the Sox earlier today, and he mentioned that this year's Hall of Fame gathering was the most Hall of Famers at the same induction of all time.
That's great.
Some tremendous speeches.
It was great speeches, and our Chuck Garfien was there on hand in person to actually see it and hear it.
Actually, there was a, you want to call this one.
Into left center field it goes, and this ball is in play. It's a double for Phillips. Chuck, go ahead.
Yeah, it was incredible how many Hall of Famers were there. And Scott Reifert was correct. It was the most Hall of Famers you could that they've ever shown up for an induction ceremony, and it was all because of who got in. And Jim Thome was clearly the biggest name for Chicago White Sox fans as he was inducted, and a great speech that he gave. It kind of circled back to his childhood, and I don't know if you had a chance to watch what he had to say, but this was someone who very true to his roots in Peoria, and when he thought about going into the Hall of Fame, he was thinking about where he came from. That was something about Jim Thome that has never left, is where he came from, and that's Peoria, Illinois.
Yeah, it came through in the speech, and it came through in the lead-up, too, talking about what even the Hall of Fame getting into it meant to his family. That was one of the first things off his lips when it happened, was how much it meant to his family. Chuck, what was the scene like that day with the inductions?
Well, it's what's interesting about it is the town is about 1,700 people.
Yeah.
And when you have induction weekend, all of a sudden there's 60,000 people in this small town, which is not easy to get to. And there's just a small main street. It's literally called Main Street in Cooperstown, which is then flooded with baseball fans. And then when you get to the ceremony itself, everyone goes over there, and in a way it's like a baseball Woodstock. It's in this grassy area, and everyone is there to hear the speeches. It was a 3-hour-long ceremony, and started with Chipper Jones, ended with Thome. And if you ever get a chance to go to Cooperstown, go.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be an induction ceremony. Go any time of year, although definitely better than the summer, fall, or spring. But it is a great experience if you're a baseball fan.
Yeah, I know you and I feel the same way, Steve. You have to go there to experience it, to feel it.
Well, it's just, look, it's a beautiful little town, and it just says baseball. I mean, everything about it is geared toward baseball. Walking into the Hall of Fame and seeing all the exhibits, first of all, you can't take it in one day.
No.
You should spend a couple of days there to see everything the Hall of Fame has to show you and teach you. It's just a wonderful place.
And one thing that Thome said was, he had been to the Hall of Fame before, walked in the museum, and it didn't really hit him. Everyone was asking him after he got the phone call, has it hit you yet? Has it hit you yet? And it hadn't hit him until about a month later. He went back there in February, and he saw where his plaque was going to go. And he saw the names near his plaque. He saw Hornsby and Fox, and he saw Gehrig and Mantle. And that's when it really hit home that he was a Hall of Famer, and his name would forever be in the same room as those guys.
You never set out in this game believing that that's going to happen, even if you want to be that. From what players have said, you don't set out to be that, and it's just this awing thing. Check swing, no go, 3-2.
Look, one of the things you have to be is very lucky that your body stays healthy enough for you to put up the numbers to get to the Hall of Fame. I mean, that's something that there probably are a whole lot of guys that might have had a shot at the Hall of Fame, but their bodies just gave out. They just, over the long haul, could not participate. Fortunately, Jim Thome was not one of those guys that the 612 home runs would indicate.
Well, and he had to fight his body, too. I mean, he had big-time back trouble late in his career, and there were moments where this is how you make the Hall of Fame, right? There were moments from what Jim has described in terms of the pain and the regimen he went through before he could play with his back. That's what puts you in the Hall of Fame, is the extreme willingness to play through something like that and get those final years in your career. 3-2, line to left. Phillips is coming home. Delmonico's throw is not in time. Ryan O'Hearn will never want to leave.
No, he's really made the most of this particular series as he drives home his third run of the year, his third run of his career, taking it into left field, and then it's the feet of Phillips outracing the arm of Nicky Delmonico. And O'Hearn will go to second on the throw.
So the Royals with 3 runs now. Sox with the Moncada home run, and Escobar, who walked and scored his first time, takes a breaking ball for a strike. First base, Abreu saves the day. Kobe in time. Close play at first. Sox just nip Escobar. The Royals do add one, but it could have been more. Abreu flags it down. Kobe gets over. And with that, the inning ends. Guaranteed rate, and today's farm report is the players of the month for July. Eloy Jimenez and Dylan Cease, a year removed from their dealing. From the Cubs to the Sox, and they both have put up grand numbers in the month of July. Jimenez 6 home runs in 16 games. Cease a 1.20 ERA in his first season in Double-A. That will play.
I would say both of those guys are having a really good run at it. Eloy in the highest of stops before the major leagues, and Dylan with a ways to go yet.
Abreu golfs it out to left center field. Merrifield on the run, gets there. He does everything for this Kansas City team.
Well, I think Ned Yost just wanted to see how well he played center field, and that was a long way to go to run that one down in the alley. Looked like Jose might have had another 2-base hit when it left the bat, but Whit Merrifield with other ideas. You see, we shaded around toward right center, and he is on the go to make the catch.
That's a very good route to the ball.
Yep. He did.
One out, Daniel Palka, the batter. And we check in with Chuck Garfien downstairs. Chuck.
Yeah, Daniel Palka batting .394 in his previous 11 games, and I asked him what's working for him, and what he said was knowledge. This is obviously his rookie season, and he was in a slump, he said, for about 50 at-bats, and he was being too aggressive in counts that were counts that he wasn't probably going to get a good pitch on, and he had to stay back, and his mechanics were all messed up in those situations as he seems to fly out here. But his leg kick was getting out of control, but now he's more balanced, more consistent. We'll see how he does the rest of the game here tonight.
Yeah, Daniel, when he's been right, he's been one of the top power hitting rookies in Major League Baseball.
Well, he's going to learn, again, being a very young hitter, he's going to learn there's certain counts and certain pitches within that count that you're not going to be able to drive. Those are pitches where you have to make some contact. There's other pitches when you're ahead in the count, when you get something, that you can drive, and he's going to be able to tell the difference as he moves along. So right now, we do know when he does get his pitch, he knows what to do with it.
Avi cinches this ball to center field, and a quick 1-2-3 inning to the outfield for Junis, who's really found himself. 3-1.
Allison Nelson from Oak Park. If you want to be the next authentic fan, enter for your chance to win at NBCSportsChicago.com/White Sox AF. They got married at the ballpark. Very nice.
They met at the ballpark. They got married at the ballpark. She's a huge Maglio Ordonez fan. As Nikki is there for out number one. They're downstairs with Chuck Garfien.
All right, thank you. I am with our authentic fans, plural. We're talking about Allison and Jeremiah. There's so much to get to, but I got to keep it short. Let's just say this. Where'd you guys meet?
At a White Sox game.
Where did you get married?
At Guaranteed Rate Field.
That was a year ago, right?
Yep, about the summer.
Why'd you guys decide to do this?
Do the wedding here?
Yeah.
Well, we've been lifelong White Sox fans. We met at a White Sox game, and it just seemed like when we were looking at everything, this is the best place for us together.
If I was to talk to someone and ask, hey, did you go to the blackout game, what would you say?
I sure did.
If I was to say, did you maybe go to the Mark Burley perfect game, what would you say?
I was there in the bleachers.
This right here is an authentic fan. Back to you.
Yeah, you're right, Chuck. I mean, they have all of it, right? They have everything you'd want in an authentic fan.
Well, having met here, then got married here, then had some of their finest moments here, you would say that they would certainly qualify for authentic fandom. And then some.
Authentic fan plus?
Yeah, that could be. Well, I mean, we could give them another award of some sort.
A demon action figure? What do you think?
Oh, we got to do better than that.
0-2 is outside. We've had some great authentic fans this year.
We have. I know. It's been amazing how many folks have either met one another at the ballpark or their relationship revolved around the White Sox.
Well, Whit Merrifield punches one down the line. He made a great catch in the bottom of the 4th. And there is single with one out in the 5th. I think sometimes when you don't see somebody dive to make a catch, because we see so many diving grabs, we tend to think it's not as outstanding of a catch. But there, the amount of ground he covered on that ball in the bottom of the 4th was impressive.
He's just one of those guys that seems to do a whole lot of things right. One of the things he does right is steal bases. 23 of them. He's been caught 5 times, and you would think he would be off to the races here.
Covey thinks maybe as well.
82%, pretty good.
Merrifield tied for 6th in baseball with those 23 steals. Trey Turner of Washington is first with 26. Merrifield dipped his toe in the water, decided not to run, and a strike to Gordon. Former South Carolina Gamecock, Whit Merrifield. Another throw to first. One of those guys talking about with the diving catches, Jackie Bradley Jr. It seems like every couple of days he's made a diving play out there in center field. One of Merrifield's South Carolina compatriots. Pitch out and nothing on.
That's why I really don't like to run on the 0-1 pitch. It's too easy to call a pitch out. You don't lose anything because you're already ahead 0-1. So the pitch out just evens the count.
Two and one. We told you about the minor league report and Jimenez and Dylan Cease and what they've done this year. Eloy Jimenez had the day off tonight in a game that is suspended after 2.5. Just a regular day of rest for Jimenez. Charlotte did see a debut out of the bullpen. Caleb Frere, the left-hander who came over from the Yankees in a trade for international bonus pool money, got his first Charlotte outing under his belt. He went 2 scoreless innings. He's had a very nice season with the Yankees in AA and AAA. And part of the reason he was available for the Sox to trade for is Merrifield's off. Throw down to second is not in time. Merrifield steals the bag.
It's 24 of them for Whit Merrifield, who got a very good jump, and even though it was a good throw, he couldn't get it there in time. He allowed him to take a running start, and that was the big thing. He didn't freeze him at first base, and because of that running start, he's in easily.
Merrifield still working out the dust off the slide. And now 3-1 from Covey to Gordon. But the reason Frere in part was available is because the Yankees were going to have to make a decision on him this offseason. He was going to have to go on the 40-man roster or be unprotected in the Rule 5 draft, which is exactly where the Sox got Dylan Covey a couple of years ago. At a certain point in terms of time in the minor leagues, the Rule 5 draft was created to give guys an opportunity to crack the majors when they've been in the minor league system for half a decade. And so because he was going to have to be decided on in the offseason, they decided to trade him. Sox offloaded some bonus pool money, and Frere, who's been very good, makes his AAA debut just yesterday for the Sox, as there's ball 4. 2 on, 1 out. Some Rule 5 players who are rather notable in recent years, at least. R.A. Dickey in 2007. Darren O'Day, Marwin Gonzalez, Tommy Kahnle, our old friend, and Odubel Herrera for the Phillies.
You can add a few years onto that. Johan Santana was a Rule 5 draft. So there's been some very good players that have been Rule 5 drafts over the years that were blocked in whatever organization they were in, only to move on and actually excel.
Roberto Clemente was a Rule 5 draft pick.
A good one. I believe Rule 5 for the Dodgers. Needless to say, didn't have a whole lot of problems with Pittsburgh.
Yeah, it was the Brooklyn Dodgers at the time.
Yep.
So with 1 out, Merrifield singled, Gordon walked, and Covey would love a ground ball. Check swing, grounder, foul, 1-2. Well, that game in Seattle, Dylan Covey showed exactly what the peak is for him. He went 8 1/3. He was outstanding. Ground balls were flying all over the infield for him. Not much to the outfield at all. But Kansas City has elevated the ball more tonight. One and 2. Third base. Sanchez spears it, and it's dropped. Merrifield scores.
That's got to be E4. I think Yohan just took his eye off the ball and thinking about 2 before he got 1, and that one sneaks into right field. Nice play by Yolmer. Does a 360 spin, and Yohan just misses it.
Alex Gordon had found the exit ramp.
It is E4.
Could have been out of the inning. Instead, no outs on the play, 1 in the inning, and Lucas Duda the batter. Into left field and falling quickly enough to get in for a hit to score Gordon. Perez to second base.
And it's a 5-1 game. For Duda, drives in his 38th run of the year.
And that will drive Dylan Covey from the game. So a couple of errors have elongated innings. One of them was his own back in the 3rd. And 4 1/3 for Covey. Xavier Cedeno, one last drink before he comes out to the mound. Kansas City in the 5th will continue to bat after this.
He's on for the 20th time. His ERA a scant 1.17, no record, 5 holds, 19 strikeouts and 15 1/3. He's got a couple of men on, and he'd like to get out of the 5th inning and keep it right there at a 5-1 deficit.
Two earned runs, 15 1/3 for Cedeno. One was at Texas in a victory. The other was against these Royals in a victory. Herrera grounded out twice against Covey. And ball number 1. Two runs in the inning for Kansas City. There's a breaking ball for a strike. Started to talk about the story that James Fegan wrote in The Athletic today about Leury Garcia and the success that he's had, but part of the crux of the article was the Sox success in dealing after the non-waiver deadline but before the end of August. Garcia was one of the players who came over, but every year the Sox seem to make at least one trade. It was Miguel Gonzalez last year, but the Sox make at least one trade to affect the roster for September and beyond. Clippard as well last year.
Yeah, I think you're always surprised at how many guys actually clear waivers and you can move after the deadline. And we probably will see a whole lot of that again this year as teams still either fall in or move into the race. Fall out of the race or move into the race.
Line to left, and that's fair. Into the corner it goes and into the stands. So Perez scores due to third, and Kansas City makes it 6-1. That ball was a cannon shot.
Herrera drives in his 14th run. He turns around to hit from the right side and hits a rocket down the line. This looked like a slider that stayed up. And Herrera, who is a touch better hitter from the right side, that is his first run batted in. Second run batted in as a right-hand hitter. 14th overall.
Phillips, a big rip for strike 1. He's one of 8 different guys to start in right field for Kansas City this year. 8.
One of the ways you know it's not going to be a great year for you is when you start 8 different right fielders.
Whew. It's a position you'll typically look to for a power anchor.
That or the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, 29 different pitchers. That's another way you'll figure out that it's not going to be a great year for you.
At some point when you're wearing "Hello, my name is" tags in the clubhouse,
yeah,
then you start to say, eh.
Well, maybe it won't be our year. But we'll get to know a lot of people.
Good to build your network.
Yeah.
Two balls and a strike on Phillips. He comes over in the Moustakas deal. And here's a guy just 24 years old. Feel like if they give him the opportunity, maybe he'll show that he belongs in the lineup full time in future years for them. He's pretty close to the majors at the time of the deal. Milwaukee just didn't have a place for him. 2-2. He can't get away from the ball. Speaking of not having a place, Milwaukee, they get Jonathan Scope. They had just moved Travis Shaw to second base. They were talking about Moustakas at second.
And I was going to say, and Shaw is really having a nice offensive year, and I'm wondering where all these middle infielders are going to play.
Scope's got to play shortstop, right?
He can play shortstop. He was a natural shortstop before he moved to second. And he's got a very strong arm.
Question for them is how much do you value the offense? How much do you value the defense? Because Arcia at shortstop is outstanding defensively, but doesn't have the offensive tool that you'd like.
They've got some thunder in that lineup, however.
3-2. Line to right. 1 run home with Duda. Herrera stops at third.
RBI number 3 for Phillips. And the hit parade continues.
3 straight hits after the error by Moncada. 4 hits in the inning. And here is O'Hearn. Well, Kansas City's offense, as you look at the numbers with them coming in, last we saw them, even just a couple of weeks ago, they were averaging about 2 runs a game in their previous couple of weeks worth. The offense has turned up. The pitching still has not been very good for Ned Yost, but the offense has been better, and we've seen it face first tonight.
Well, they get a few guys that are just new to the lineup. O'Hearn and Phillips both are having a good series. First time we've seen Herrera. Mondesi now getting full-time play. So with the movement, they've got a completely different team.
No balls and 2 strikes. And spiked 1-2. Cleveland beat Minnesota earlier 2-0. Carlos Carrasco strikes out 10, and now a 10-game lead in the division. That departure from the pack seems to be happening for Cleveland.
Yeah, all they had to do was get a series with Minnesota, and Minnesota divested themselves of some very good players, so they're not near the team they were, and Cleveland taking advantage of it.
Called strike 3. Planted on the inside. And O'Hearn punches out.
Well, Kevin Smith wanted it away. Cedeno got it in. It had part of the plate.
Now Escobar, the 9th batter of the inning. That one gets away. Here comes Herrera. Phillips to second behind the play, and it's 8-1.
I think that's going to be a pass ball. We'll take another look. That could actually be a wild pitch. That ball hit the dirt. And Bob Rosenberg says a pass ball. No chance at the plate, and it's a 7-run Kansas City lead.
Ball and no strikes for Escobar. To right field on a line. Avi's there. And the inning's over, but Kansas City sends 9 to the plate, and the Royals expand the lead. How'd you know I say that?
I've heard you say it. I don't know how many times.
Sox are trailing 8-1 tonight. Junis out of Rock Falls to the west. Throws ball number 1 to Garcia. Riddle me this. I have a question for you
Sure.
about the National League and the trade stuff.
Yes.
And I don't say this to be snarky.
You sure?
But maybe. So the Pirates in the offseason trade Garrett Cole.
Yes.
And they basically say, well, we don't want to have that one big name pitcher. We'd rather have prospects. Okay.
Okay.
So then they trade Austin Meadows and Tyler Glasnow for Chris Archer.
Yes.
Aren't you kind of doing the same thing just a couple months later? What's different there?
I think maybe the biggest difference is a controllable contract for Chris Archer as opposed to Garrett Cole. I think that's probably the biggest factor in why they decide to divest themselves of Garrett Cole and then add Archer. Because Archer is one of those guys that everybody has said all the way along, and he's been with a number of different organizations, he should be better than he's been, or he will be better with us. Could very well be that Pittsburgh is a place where he comes alive to everything that everybody said all along. I mean, he's got great stuff. Question is consistency, and the Pirates are hoping he finds it in Pittsburgh.
With Archer gone, as that is a fair ball, Duda over at first shovels it away, and a neat play by Lucas Duda for out number 2.
He's made some very good plays in this series. This is a dandy. This is right down the line. Ben May on the call. It is indeed a fair ball, and crossing into foul territory with the backhand flip, he gets it there in plenty of time.
You remember when he was coming up with the Mets, there was a question of where you're going to put him defensively. That's a really nice play.
No, he's made a couple of good plays in this series. So whatever the problems he had with the glove, they're not in evidence here in Chicago.
2 down for Anderson. I was going to say, you look at the Rays depth chart. At one point yesterday, the Rays roster on their website and their depth chart, there were 0 pitchers listed under rotation. None. No starters at one point yesterday. That's changed. There are 2 now.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
You want to have a few starters if you can.
It seems like they don't care, though. They're using the opener quite often.
They are. And they're winning tonight, top of the 8th against the Angels. And if they do win, they'll move to over 500.
That's a 1-2-3 inning for Junis. Back-to-back for him. Against the Royals, times 1 homer last night for the Sox. plus 7 wins against the Royals, 15 minus 2 years for Cal Eldred with the White Sox. 13 is your answer. T. Dillon, 90. Your winner, congratulations. And with that, a new pitcher for you to introduce to us.
We've got Tyler Danish coming in the ball game, the third of the Sox pitchers tonight, on for the third time. He hasn't given up anything yet, and he would like to hold these Royals at bay.
Which bay?
The dock of the bay.
As good as any.
It is.
Mondesi, the first batter. He'll be followed by Merrifield and Gordon. Kansas City was 4 games back of the Sox coming into this game. As Danish spins over a strike. This stuff looks a little bit different. More movement, don't you think?
Well, look, he changed his arm angle radically, and with that, he's gotten more movement on everything. Not only the slider, but the sinker.
Base hit for Mondesi. He thought about 2, and he's going to need some new brake pads. Time now for T-Mobile, built for baseball. And it's Tim Anderson over at shortstop.
That started things off unbelievably well. This is just a great play, first play of the ball game. And you get a very appreciative bunch of White Sox for the defensive exploits of Tim Anderson.
That is not a play everybody makes, and there are some very good shortstops in Major League Baseball. Left field, Delmonico back on it. Round number 1, Merrifield, the first out. We'll see Tampa Bay coming up this weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. The scheduled starters currently for that series are Giolito, Rodon, and Shields against a battery of TBAs for Tampa Bay.
You would think with a different configuration of their starting rotation, they would be a little undecided.
In the air right field, Garcia back at the wall, and this one is gone. Gordon snaps off a home run, and the Royals are in double figures.
Just a 7th home run. And Alex Gordon has 4 driven in. He came in with 20 runs driven in and over 300 at bats this year, and he's got 4 in this game. 4th home run replay. It's a sinker, low and in, and gone. Alex Gordon, who's had just a disastrous year, is starting to look pretty good.
He went from June 10th to July 9th without an RBI.
And it wasn't from lack of effort, because this guy is a prolific worker. Some speculate he might be working too hard, but he's trying a few things new. One of the things he's trying is extending his hands, because he had a tendency to just pull everything. He still is a pull hitter, but they want him to think more up the middle, and we've seen it in this series where he has gone up the middle and to left center field.
Yeah, the ball he hit for the double in the 3rd inning was that to a T.
Little light mist coming down.
Salvi to left. Nicky the catch. Fans experience Levy Restaurant's fine dining while enjoying a breathtaking view of guaranteed rate field from the Huntington Bank Stadium Club. Memberships are available to season ticket holders and also perfect for non-game day events, including weddings and corporate parties like our authentic fans tonight. Call 312. They didn't have a corporate party, they had a wedding. 312-674-1000.
Like a corporate party.
What corporate party have you been to where there's a cake and a veil?
Well, veiled threats, certainly.
Yeah, I'm not going to RSVP to your shindig. Oh, I hear there are going to be veiled threats tonight. What should I bring? Anxiety.
and a Kevlar vest.
Ball and a strike on Duda. 2 into the inning on the Gordon home run. Two one. That's in there for strike 2.
The biggest problem is it can't rain hard enough at this point. It is an official game.
Two and two on Duda. Now 3-2. Chuck, you were talking to Roger Bossard. What's he say?
Yeah, it is raining a little bit, and you want to be precise. You want some precision. I got it from Roger Bossard. He said it's going to rain for 15 to 17 minutes, and there's going to be a total of 3/100ths of an inch, and they're going to play through it.
All right, so it's 8:54 right now. We'll start the clock. There's ball 4. That is very precise. 3/100ths of an inch. Do you have one of those rainometers down there where you can measure how much comes down?
We'll get you a rain cup, Chuck.
I have nothing prepared for rain here today. I didn't know it was gonna rain.
I didn't either. No.
You should talk to Roger.
I know. Roger can predict the future.
He can. That's Mickey Norton, who decided that she would wear some gear just in case it did rain, and it did.
He's nuts about the rain.
She's prepared.
Chuck, you should honestly have like a locker downstairs where you can just have some rain gear at all times, or put it in Roger's expansive office.
You're right. Rain. I need to be prepared for rain, sleet, snow. I've had it all. No hail yet. That's still to be determined.
That's good news. Yeah. No hail yet this season.
To this point, yes.
Yeah. You've had everything else.
That's
though.
about the best news you could have, Chuck.
But this rain actually feels good. It's cooling things down. I like it.
You wouldn't say that if it was coming down in buckets, would you?
No.
11,
I'd run for cover.
11 1/100ths of rain. You wouldn't like that?
No.
3-0 from Danish. Is a strike. 3-1.
Sox pen up and going. It is Thiago Vieira.
That is ball 4, so back-to-back walks to Duda and Herrera, and Phillips will bat. And here comes a meeting at the mound. Don Cooper will visit. Coop trying to get Danish straightened out after the home run earlier in the inning.
Don has made a few trips to the mound this year.
Yeah, Coop is rather busy.
I would say that he is certainly conversant with the shortcuts to get to the mound, the longer ways to get to the mound, how to get back more quickly or slowly, depending.
You think he's punched it into his Maps app?
I would hope so.
To see if there's any traffic as he comes out. Yeah.
Let's see what happens, which way you want to go back. Will Little now breaks them up.
Longest tenured pitching coach around, Don Cooper. So 2 on, 2 out, and Phillips the batter. He's now 3 for 7 in the series as he takes a breaking ball out. So Brett Phillips, when he was growing up, he'd go out to his driveway every once in a while and go out to play basketball, play a little horse with whoever was around in the neighborhood. And every once and again, his neighbor would come over and play, and it was Macho Man Randy Savage.
He was a 175-pound middle infielder with the St. Louis Cardinals.
Randy Poffo, right?
It was Randy Poffo, yes, from a wrestling family. Angelo Poffo, his dad. Lenny Poffo, his brother.
Played the Genius.
Yes, he did. And Randy Macho Man Savage.
Brett Phillips' basketball buddy.
He grew into about a 265-pounder.
One of the true stars of wrestling in the 80s and 90s.
Very much so.
Put Slim Jim on the map as well.
I remember those.
A tasty food that
Who?
covers all the food groups.
Oh, yeah, all of them.
3-2 to Phillips. On the ground, first base, and Abreu plays the hop for out number 3. Chuck Garfine's weather report follows this.
Fan night on August 8th.
A little dollar hot dog for you in the Authentic Fan Post. It is dollar hot dog night here at the ballpark. Hey, Chuck Garfine, what you got?
Kevin Smith is going to be a new dad, if not Thursday or Friday. His wife Jessica is set to be induced either tomorrow or on Friday, and a very special story behind it. It is going to be a son, and they're going to name their son after Daniel Webb, the White Sox relief pitcher who tragically passed away in an ATV accident back in October. They were good friends, Kevin Smith and Daniel Webb, and Daniel's real name, full name, was Robert Wyatt McDaniel Webb, and they're going to name their son Wyatt Daniel in honor of their great friend Daniel Webb. And in fact, Kevin and his wife Jessica conceived soon after his passing, and they feel like it's something that was meant to be, to name their first son, their first child, after Daniel Webb.
It's a beautiful thing. It's something that Kevin and his wife, as you were talking about, they were so close to Daniel and his family. They stayed down after the service for a couple of weeks to be with the family and to mourn. And it's been very tough on Kevin, but what a great tribute.
Yeah, you can't hardly pay him any more of a compliment than naming your firstborn son after him.
Yeah, there was a question of whether she was actually going to go into the hospital tonight at Prentice downtown, but I was talking to Kevin right before he took the field here, and he's thinking, well, she may not go in tonight. They may make a change of plans there, but either Thursday or Friday, a newborn baby will be coming into the world.
And we wish them the absolute best in the delivery, and as they become parents. Two balls, no strikes on Moncada. And Junis misfires. The one thing he's not done tonight is allowed a walk. He does have quite the cushion at 10-1. 4 straight out of the zone. Well, for a team with a 5.30 ERA as a group, dead last in Major League Baseball, the Royals do not want this to get any closer and have it get any hairier than it is right now.
No, and for the first time, they're starting to stir in the bullpen as Ned Yost looks over his lineup card. Cal Eldred looks over his sheet. Nobody's throwing quite yet. They're just starting to loosen up.
There's a strike in the go figure department. The Orioles beat the Yankees today 7-5. For Baltimore, that is win number 33 on the year, and for the Yankees, loss number 38. Sonny Gray, 2 2/3, 7 earned runs. His ERA 5.56.
They're getting a little impatient with Sonny in New York.
You think so?
Yeah.
They booed Stanton after like the first week and a half. So
Sonny's been there for a bit and has not won consistently, and as so often happens when you put on pinstripes, it's a great place when you're going good. Not a real good place when you're going bad.
Ruthless is the word that you could use.
Yep.
That pretty much means unless something changes in the rotation, we'll see Sonny Gray on Monday when the Yankees and the Sox get together here at Guaranteed Rate Field. Over at first, a foul ball. That would be Sonny Gray versus Dylan Covey in the opener against the Yankees, who are here for 3, then Cleveland for 3 over the weekend. One and 2. He struck him out.
Let's take a look at a high-speed action powered by Xfinity. And it's the arm of Salvi Perez. He guns down a couple of them. That's Tim Anderson being taken down, and then Yoan Moncada getting thrown out. And Salvi has been equal to the task tonight, 2 for 2.
A little happier than earlier this season when he was playing the Fun Police.
Yeah.
5 straight All-Star starts for him, by the way, behind the plate. Pressed into action because of injury this year, but a start is a start in the All-Star game. Now Wilson Ramos out of the American League, going from Tampa Bay to Philadelphia.
A couple of positions getting a little sparse as far as a backlog of talent. And that's in the American League, but it's really all over baseball. It's tough to find a whole plethora of quality catchers. It's also difficult to find a whole lot of quality third basemen around. Got a lot of good shortstops. Not a lot of good third basemen these days.
That's upstairs, 3-0 on Abreu. Well, the kid behind the plate in Miami is pretty good. He drew a lot of interest.
Yes, he is, and has not been traded quite yet.
Three and 0. Green light?
Nope.
Ball 4.
And Ned Yost might want somebody to get loosened up in the bullpen.
Keep going. No. Yep.
That's
All
it.
right.
You hold them right there. You got a 9-run lead. You're okay.
Couple of hits, though. Starts to get tense.
You lay one into this guy, and he could make it a whole lot closer quickly.
Ball number 1. Laying one in is difficult right now for Junis.
Right now, he's lost complete command of just about everything. And that's Cal Albert. He's going to call the pen and get somebody loosened up.
In case you were wondering if that was the authentic phone, the authenticator is over there. Not only does he deal in memorabilia, he's authenticated our authentic fans tonight. Easy for me to say. He's authenticated the phone. He's authenticated the pitching coach.
That's what you have to do if you're the authenticator. I mean, what else is your job?
He honestly should have a bigger role on our telecast on Authentic Fan Night.
He could.
We should have an official authentication ceremony.
That's coming. Middle of September.
We're planning on it, huh?
Yep.
It's in the hopper.
There he is, the authenticator.
Can never see the full face of the authenticator. It's too important of a job. He always has to be slightly obscured. That's part of the rule. Oh, no, well, no, he's still behind the net there. So you can't ever see his entire face. On the ground and foul, first base side. You see, you never will see an authenticator in the wild. There's always a net or some sort of pole covering his face. See, you basically can tell who it is, but he's shrouded in secrecy of that net. See, that's how it happens.
It's a clever ploy.
Back of his head. Can never get a clean look at the guy. Outside 3-2. Bases loaded, 1 out. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Well, he went breaking ball that time.
His comfort pitch is a slider. I mean, that's the pitch that he likes the most out of all of them.
Whoa, that's a run. 10-2.
That'll be at number 39 for Daniel.
So Junis hadn't walked a soul until the last 4 batters. He's walked 3 of them. So it's been officially 17 minutes since your report of 15-17 on the rain. Chuck, how we doing?
I'm here to report that Roger Bossard, in this case, is a genius. It has stopped raining. I do not have a device to let you know if there was actually 3/100ths of an inch of rain that fell, but I'm going to guess it was about that. But Roger's no longer here, and I think his forecast was 100% accurate.
His forecast speaks for itself.
Ray Sipsa,
Something
as they
like
say
that.
in the courtroom.
Yep. Ryan Flynn loosening in the pen.
Avisail Garcia, 10-2 in the 6th. That fades inside, ball 1. Nearly 300.
Yeah, one more hit with the bases loaded, and Avi goes over 300.
Ball and no strikes. Moncada at third, Abreu at second, Polka at first, all on walks. Will he groove one? Yes. There they are. Bases loaded. 1-2. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Bases occupied. That's an out and 2 down. So it's up to the second Garcia in the order, Leori Garcia, who's 0 for 2 with a ground ball and a fly ball. See how much gusto this rally has left. Outside ball 1. One went in. Here comes the second with Jose. It's 10-4. Don't look now. The comeback is on.
29 driven in for Leori. Looks like Ned Yost had started to the mound before he went back in the dugout, before he starts to the mound. This one sneaking by Escobar. And the 6th inning will be the last that Junis is going to see tonight. So as he walks out and Flynn comes in, we'll step out and be back after these messages. Ryan Flynn, left-hander who's had some control issues over the year. See, 23 walks, only 30 strikeouts in 51 and 2/3 innings, a 2-2 record. Pretty respectable 3.83 ERA. He inherits a couple of Sox base runners at first and second. It's a 6-run Kansas City lead, but the Sox are coming back.
Nicky Delmonico, the batter, with 2 on and 2 out. Junis 5 2/3, 3 damaging walks in this 6th inning. And there's strike 1. Nicky did not enjoy the strike 3 call in the 2nd inning. And he grounded out to first in the 5th. Center field. Whit Merrifield is there. And that is all for this authentic rally for the Sox. Can't get a good look at him. However, there he is. The net in the area. Garcia. Base hit. Sox are on the comeback trail. Roster updates and more. RBI Baseball 18 is available now. Learn more at rbigame.com. It's rated E for everyone.
A new pitcher coming in the ball game. It is Thiago Vieira. Just one game with our Sox, and it wasn't too good looking.
It was a game of hit or be hit.
Yeah, he hit a few.
First one, a strike to O'Hearn. So Tyler Danish goes 1 inning, gives up 2 hits, both earned runs, and 2 walks. .99 and not a strike. Kevin had to reach for it. The old challenge pitch at 97, and he got a swing and miss.
Nothing fancy there, just lean back and throw a fastball by him.
One ball, 2 strikes as the distinct smell of rain has come over the ballpark.
You can't, the rain's gone. Roger said.
Sometimes that's when it happens, though. The post-rain aroma.
Well, that's what this is?
Yeah, you've never experienced that before?
No.
Do you have a sense of smell?
No. I used to.
You traded it away?
Yeah. For a player to be named
In
later.
a bad baseball card deal?
And they're going to go in and have an early talk.
Rarely do you see now just the catcher and pitcher talking without the infield.
Yeah, they have to have a little emotional support.
Their support infielders?
Yes. Catcher says something, everybody says, that's a good idea. That's pretty much it. Go back to your position.
The power of positive thinking.
That's it. Positivity.
Two and 2. That's fouled away. breaks away. 3 balls and 2 strikes. You really can't smell that. The aftermath of the rain, the spring-like feel of the ballpark. 3-2. On the ground at first base, Abreu feeds Vieira, and there is out number 1 as we open up the Sox vault. Who or what is inside? There's a lot of oxygen. We keep a lot of people in there. Dale Swaim, who played 40 games with the Sox in 1992, traded in exchange for Keith Shepard. His fortunes at that time took a turn for the better, according to this article, which we got from the Sox vault. Sox expected to have both Ozzie Guillen and the Little Hurt back, and that's indeed what happened.
And there he is. Became a major league manager.
He got out of the vault.
He did. But things were looking up for him.
California native, former first-round pick of the Brewers, Dale Swaim, back in 1982. Avi rushing in, Moncada back. And with his penchant for colliding with Garcia, it's good to see the clean play.
And Avi said, nice job. I called for it. And you did not get in the way.
You
That was
skedaddled.
good. That was a good one.
Two out, and Mondesi. Don't forget, tomorrow is a 1:10 start time. Brad Keller versus Reynaldo Lopez, your pitching matchup. Oakland won again. They're sweeping everybody.
Yeah, they're playing exceptional baseball and getting themselves right back into the thick of things.
Well, they got a win and Seattle lost, so that's actually a tie for second place in the AL West right now. And Oakland's been playing better baseball than the Mariners.
Pretty amazing. And Oakland is 1 game back in the loss column and tied overall.
They ran into the Rockies this past week when Colorado was playing pretty good baseball and took a couple of losses there.
Colorado is still playing good baseball. They're a half a game in back of Arizona, tied with the Dodgers, both a half game back of the Diamondbacks.
Rockies still have a negative run differential. They're -1 for the year. As Vieira runs it up to 100 for the strikeout of Mondesi. Bottom 7, 10-4. Guaranteed Rate Field. Space features batting and pitching cages, base running areas, and skill instruction from Chicago White Sox Training Academy coaches. While you're there, check out the latest Xfinity technology, including the X1 platform. They should call that the X1 platform because it overlooks the outfield.
It should be the platform.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You're very agreeable tonight.
I'm a very agreeable fella.
Are you okay?
No. Yes, I'm fine. Delightful.
It's a strike on Anderson, who made a sterling defensive play early in this game. Whit Merrifield with a ground ball to shortstop to lead it off, and Anderson just outdid him.
I think Merrifield was the most surprised guy in the ballpark that throw actually beat him to first base before he got there.
Ground ball fair down the line. This smacks of double for Tim Anderson. Ball stuck around in the corner, but not for long enough. Even though the throw got away, it's a leadoff double for Tim.
This one right down the line. You see Herrera well off the line and no chance to get this. No promising way to start the seventh.
Kevin Smith. A late swing. I love our Twitter followers. Sloaney has tweeted in that the smell of the earthy air before or just after the first rain in a while is called petrichor.
Well, of course it is. You didn't know that?
Thank you for educating me on that, Steve.
You're welcome.
Because it was you that came through.
That was under my nom de plume.
Oh, you have a Twitter nom de plume?
Yeah, I do.
Hey guys, I'm just smelling something. It smells like, is it petrichor?
You may have a really good sniff at that. On the ground, Escobar. And there's out number one. Anderson to third. You probably smell it better than we do because you're closest to it.
Yes.
Yeah.
I confirm with you, Jason Benetti, I smell the petrichor.
Thank you.
Yeah, it feels like a rain happened. It's, I got a good whiff of it down here, yes.
Like 3/100ths of an inch. Something along those lines, I believe.
Yes.
You learn something new every day.
There's a young lady who certainly enjoying her petrichor and her night at the old ball yard.
She's an authentic fan. She might be the next one with that winning smile and whatnot. I know you've been described as having a winning smile.
Yeah, sometimes.
After the rain. Downstairs 2-0 to Yoan Moncada, who's homered, he's singled, and he's walked and scored. The one play he wants back from tonight was the double play that was not turned in the big inning for Kansas City in the fifth. Right field and foul.
Let's take a look at StatCast AI powered by AWS. Leadoff home run. 106.4 miles an hour exit velocity. It was a low line drive at 23 degrees launch angle.
And whoever ordered that green laser in the craft cave, your order is ready. 3-2 on Moncada. 10-4 Kansas City on a 5-run fifth inning. The Royals, in fact, scored all their runs between the 3rd and the 6th. Three and 2 on Yuan. Called strike 3.
Yuan knew it was a called third. He just walked on back.
It was low.
It probably looked a lot lower because Salvi, for one of the few times tonight, actually took that ball out of the zone.
2 down, Yolmer Sanchez. Mondesi throws him out. We'll go to the 8th inning and we'll take you on a tour of Major League Baseball after this. Nationals or the Mets? Nationals or the Mets? Well, considering the scoreboard that you're watching grow like a slot machine that's rigged. Jose Reyes on the mound. Hey, wait a second. Let me get a tater off of you. 2-run shot to right field. It wasn't over, though. There's a 3-run dinger, center field. The home run derby sanctioned once again at Nationals Park. Sorry about your earned run average, Jose. And eventually the Nats went on to win by like blackjack.
25-4.
Yeah.
It's a nice sizable win.
It's also very close to a Chicago song.
It is very close. We'll get your run differential back, though.
It is very helpful. Plus 61 now for the Nationals. By the way, the White Sox have announced a new fundraising campaign. It starts at noon tomorrow and concludes at 1 p.m. Friday, August 3rd. It's the 25 for 25 campaign. Evidently, the Nationals are involved with their 25 runs. So the contribution of $25 or more is what the Sox are asking for during the campaign as Garcia comes charging in for the out. If you make that donation, you have the opportunity to win a new prize during each hour of the campaign. The final hour is a power hour with 25 different prizes on the board. You donate $250 or more, you get invited to a private donor recognition event with A.J. Pierzynski. Jerseys, autographed bats, autographed baseballs. Some great stuff. Yeah, the 25 for 25. there is out number 2 in this 8th inning.
Vieira has come in and retired 5 in a row. And no sign of little of that wildness we saw in his first outing.
I'm going to say something that you may not have ever heard before on a baseball telecast.
He gets the ball over, he's going to be tough.
Yeah.
Is that where you were headed with that? Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Boy, if he can harness that control.
I thought there was something along those lines, but you're right. That is it.
I just opened my baseball fortune cookie for the night, and that came out, so I figured I'd tell you.
Very nice.
It also happens to be true.
It's terribly true.
One and one on Salvador Perez, who's 0 for 4 with a run scored. 3 balls in play to make outs, and he reached on an error in the 5th. That's smashed to left field. Nicky gets over there, and Perez is going to go for 2 as Delmonico didn't come up with it cleanly. So 2 bases for Salvador Perez with 2 down.
You know, in Nicky's mind's eye, what he thought of was he was going to cut across, slide, catch the ball cleanly, get it back in, and hold Salvi to a single. That was in his mind's eye. So, in reality, this is what happens. He slides across. This part's good. And then kicks it into the corner. No, Salvi gets a 2-base hit.
It's a corner kick.
That's what it was.
Ricky Renteria out to talk to Vieira. He will come out of the game. Hector Santiago is loosening. He will enter when we come back.
It is Hector Santiago who comes on to retired Duda. Get out of the inning and keep it at 10-4. There you look at the numbers, on for the 34th time. ERA of 5.5 plus.
Fouled away by Lucas Duda, who singled in a run in the 5th and scored a run of his own.
Kansas City pen going, so we'll probably see another pitcher from their pen.
There's a strike. Nice catch by Kevin. 0-2. There is that bullpen.
And the Royals pen up and going. Glenn Sparkman.
Famous for signing that ball yesterday.
He did.
In the exchange for O'Hearn's first hit.
That was great. A bullpen ball.
Third ball fouled away. Duda was going to go get the ball as it ricocheted back into the field of play, but there are people for that. 0-2. Line foul. Don't forget, last game of this homestand is tomorrow. It's a 1:10 p.m. start time. Brad Keller versus Reynaldo Lopez. Sox and Royals in game number 3 before a trip to Tampa St. Pete. Oh, 2. Another foul ball. This will be my first baseball game ever at Tropicana Field. I did a football game there once.
You're going to love it.
You mean that?
No. It's a great city, and you love the haunted hotel. That part is nice.
Yeah.
You might see a ghost or two. But the ballpark, not so much.
Blooped into short left center. Anderson waves for it, gets called off, and Nicky makes the catch. Layla Rahimi comes back in the bottom of the 8th. Roll your break. Rolling our break. 10-4, bottom of the 8th inning, and a new pitcher on for Kansas City.
It's Glenn Sparkman on for the 6th time. His ERA a touch over 4. He's 0-1. You look at the rest of the numbers. 8 strikeouts and 8 2/3 is good. He's got a 6-run lead.
He was very tough in Mega Man 3.
The Sparkman?
Yeah. He'll face Abreu first in the 8th, then Polka and Garcia. And that's called strike on the fringe. Jose walked and scored in the 6th. Sparkman watches it get fouled off his catcher, who has been rather bruised in this series.
Yeah, Selby's taking a beating, and now Will Little is going to give him a moment to regroup. It has been a tough almost 2 games for Selby. He's gotten hit a lot.
It's not the kind of busy you want to be.
No, and it does go in cycles. You start to get hit, and doesn't seem like it's ever going to stop.
Sparkman on 0-2. Jose goes down to get it and gets it by Merrifield. Will it be 2 or 3 bases? The answer is 2. As Phillips got over there very quickly to help out Abreu with another double.
Good. Merrifield thought he had a shot at that, but the ball just sunk under his glove and then got by him. And Jose with a 2-base hit. He just goes down and gets this one. It's a sinking line drive, and Whit Merrifield thought he had a good shot at it. He didn't. Comes up just a little short as this one gets all the way to the wall.
Double number 31 for Abreu, so now 17 behind Albert Bell for the Sox single season record. Daniel Palka, nobody out. Too good to pass up the high fastball. 0-1. Third base side, Herrera. And he did hold the bag. Duda just barely anchored himself. Crowd boos. Very close play. Joe McEwing on the phone. Did he have the base or not?
Ben May thought he did. Herrera cuts across. Gets it there, and the foot's on the bag. Looked like a pretty good play. Dude has really had a good 2 games defensively at first base.
Having seen him in the minors as a defensive player who was really there for the offense in a big way, he's vastly improved.
Had a real good run at it in these 2.
Abreu at third, 1 out. And Avi. Line shot hauled in by Mondesi. That ball was absolutely eviscerated.
Was that, and Jose did a nice job of not getting doubled off.
Two out, Garcia, who drove in a couple in the 6th. Sox with a 3-run 6th inning. That's through a base hit, and it's 10-5.
It's 30 driven in for Liuri. 3-9. First ball fastball taken through the left side.
Nicky Delmonico 0 for 3. He came in 6 for his last 18 and has been prone to late power. He's hit bullpens well recently. Second base, Mondesi for out number 3. Sox get a run. Garcia drives in Abreu. Will play the 9th after this.
Another White Sox Authentic Fan Night at Guaranteed Rate Field. Watch the Sox take on the Yankees. Visit Authentic Fan Booth, located outside sections 153 and 157 and 158, and grab a free Sox jersey while supplies last.
They just changed the sections while you were reading that. How dare they?
I almost sent them to the wrong section.
Also available in section 657 and 658.
On the 6th level.
Yeah, the 600 level, which is featuring, I think, what, beef stew?
Oh, it's really good stew, too.
It's a rotating menu up on 600. Best ballpark food that's yet to be created is what? What should we have at ballparks to eat that we don't have yet?
Good question.
Yeah.
I'll get back to you on that before the end of this ball game.
Well, the beef stew made me think of it. You know, nothing says summer baseball 90-degree day.
Like a good beef stew?
1-2. Ooh. A Hollywood ending there for Herrera. Chuck, your thoughts on the ballpark food we don't have yet?
I mean, basically every single kind of food can be found in ballparks across America. How about sloppy joes?
Oh, I like it.
You like that?
Yeah. That's a good idea.
Yeah, sloppy joes.
Here's out number 1. See, Chuck got us started, so if you want to tweet in food that you've never seen at a ballpark that you think would go well.
I'm trying to think of another one.
Have you ever eaten porcupine?
I have not, but I had grasshoppers in Seattle.
Yeah, that's bad. But a good porcupine,
There's been corn
marinated correctly, would be just nice.
There's been corn on the cob, right?
Yeah,
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And corn off the cob.
Yeah, and corn just prior to removal from the cob.
Yeah, they have a lot of those, Chuck.
Transitional corn, they call it.
And can of corn.
Yeah, that's true. Also available. James Boson tweeted in sushi. We've seen that at the ballpark.
Yes.
Yeah, they do have that. Yeah, it's especially good the second day.
Rarely do they cook it. In the air left side, foul territory. Yolmer is on the case. He's at the tarp, and he runs on a roll. Hey, bring your family of 4 to a White Sox game for as low as $49. Our family 4-pack includes 4 tickets, 4 hot dogs, 4 chips, and 4 sodas, and no beef stew. Upper level and lower level packages are available. All the available dates are right now at whitesox.com/4packs today. It's a good selfie.
Very good selfie.
Got the lean in there. Oh, Wayne McMillan tweets in biscuits and gravy. We're just coming up with marketing ideas. Hopefully Brooks Boyer is listening here.
Yeah, you write all these things down and you come up with something.
White Sox Sal says lasagna. Chuck, your thoughts about lasagna at the ballpark?
No, I'm all in on biscuits and gravy. Are you kidding me? I'm salivating over here. Bring it on.
Again, not for the 95-degree summer days. That is there for strike 3, 2 down in the inning. Evan Walsh tweets in peanut butter and jelly. Have you ever seen peanut butter and jelly at the stadium?
No, mercifully not.
That actually, I think that's good. Good idea.
The kid?
How about with the
kids
peanut
would like
allergies?
that.
Well, if you have a peanut allergy, Steve, you don't eat it.
How about walking by it?
Well, that's why we have the nut-free zone.
Ah, I see. So you've expanded the concept.
Ryan Vanderkar says rotating pies? What does that even mean? Do they just spin around, or is it different pies?
No, you order a cherry pie, you get apple. It's really a nice thing.
Jake Colon says Guinness beer floats. Our fans are wonderful.
I'll take a root beer float.
That would be great.
Never seen that at a game.
That's a foul ball coming straight toward us.
Oh.
Joe Grube almost got
Joe
smoked.
Grube was bailing out.
Joe nearly became the sloppy Joe that Chuck wanted.
There's your floats right there. The creamery has them.
Yeah, Chuck, we need to get you a root beer float tomorrow. I think we have them here.
If that's the case, I'm having one. They have root beer floats here?
I think so. Frank Wuzzy says cereal. We're not having cereal at the ball game. The topic's over. Thanks, Frank. No cereal. 10-5.
The night of Alex Gordon, and it's been a good one. This one drove home a pair. This double up the gap. And then a 2-run homer. Gordon drove in 4 in his 2-for-4 night. And Brandon Maurer comes in the ball game, and it's been a very tough year for him.
1 for 5 in save chances. ERA over a dozen. And Tim Anderson gets it first for strike 1.
Hard to believe when you throw 98 to 100 miles an hour as he does that he has been hit as hard as he has been this year, and the control has not been there either.
You know, Steve, if he gets it over the plate.
That's what the book says.
One and one. Took a breaking ball downstairs. Hung around in the zone for a while.
88-mile-an-hour slider and a good one.
I think we figured out one thing. We don't want our Twitter followers to create the only menu at the ballpark. Got a lot of
it was a varied menu.
Oh yeah, cannoli, call for a pastry station. Egg sandwiches were suggested.
Wow.
Nothing says our national pastime like egg sandwiches. Ground ball wide of third. Leori Garcia tonight, 3 driven in. Moncada scored twice. Jose Abreu, 2 runs scored. 2-2. There's that slider.
The catcher, number 36, Kevin Smith.
Now Kevin Smith, who had a base hit to center field in the 6th. takes a strike. Now, Kansas City's offense has shown up this series with the 2 homers yesterday and 10 runs on the board tonight.
Things started out very good for Dylan Covey tonight. He breezed through the first 2, had some problems after that.
Herrera fights it off and scores the out.
Second baseman, number 10.
4 ground balls tonight, 1 hit for Kevin, and Moncada, the batter. Home run to lead off the game on the first pitch he saw. First pitch anybody in a Sox uniform saw offensively tonight. Looked like a really good sign, but Kansas City then scored the next 10 runs. Tomorrow's game, it's a 1:10 start time. Brad Keller against Reynaldo Lopez. Junis, who's from the state of Illinois, looks like he is going to be the winning pitcher after on Sunday Ryan Borucki threw very well. A Mark Burley fan growing up for Toronto. Outside, 3 balls, 2 strikes. That is downstairs in ball 4. Moncada will take his walk. He's so used to being punched out on strike 3.
Just didn't know it was ball 4.
We have an offer from the podcast, the I'm Fat podcast. Our friend Jay Zawoski and Rick Camp say that if we need professional menu consultation, they're here for us. We come up with new items for the ballpark.
You never really know. Something might stick.
No balls and a strike on Sanchez.
Now they tell Duda you might want to move behind Moncada. It is a 5-run lead.
And there he goes. So Yoan runs, and he's going to have to go back. Will Little, one last cleaning job of the plate. Maybe. No balls, 2 strikes from Maurer. Fouled away. Moncada has to go back. So you want to steal a base.
Getting his workout in.
A little cardio late in the game. Yeah. 0-2. First base, Lucas Duda has the final out, and Kansas City will go for the sweep tomorrow. The Royals with a 10 spot tonight.
Unfortunately, the Royals offense a little too good tonight, and Dylan Covey had some problems with that sinker as he moved into the 3rd and 4th innings. So the Royals take the first 2. It's a quick turnaround. Get your rest. I'll see you tomorrow.
Sounds great. See you then. We thank you as well, our authentic fans, perspective and otherwise, for joining in tonight. For our producer, Keon Dolachah here, director Jim Angio, our associate producer, Dave Ross, our technical manager, Mark Harper, the executive producer, Greg Bowman, Farazi Guillen, and our entire NBC Sports crew. He's Steve Stone. I'm Jason Benetti. Downstairs, Chuck Garfien. We say so long from Guaranteed Rate Field. Coming up next, Subaru White Sox post-game live. You've been watching Chicago White Sox baseball on NBC Sports Chicago. Talk to you tomorrow.